Change is inevitable, but growth through change, that's a conscious choice. And the key to making that choice is adaptation, the ability to shift and to rise. I hail from Kanpur, a city with rich history but far away from the glitz and speed of metropolitans. My dreams were always big, but the path, it wasn't always clear. I started as a footwear designer, something creative, rooted purely in aesthetics and function. But little did I know that this foundation would eventually lead me to a dynamic career in outreach and marketing for design education for some of the best institutions. That journey from Kanpur to Delhi, from designer to marketer, wasn't smooth. It always demanded one thing above all: courage. The courage to leave behind what was familiar, the courage to step into unknown territory, to learn new things, to risk failure. Because learning too takes courage. It asks you to admit that you don't know anything, to stay curious, and to be willing to be a beginner again. But it's in that discomfort that real growth begins, and growth demands adaptation. You can't evolve without being flexible, without letting go of old patterns and embracing new ones. I learned that adaptation isn't weakness, it's strength, it's intelligence in action. But courage alone doesn't carry you. Sometimes pain becomes your silent partner. My father's passing was one of the most difficult experiences of my life. But in that moment of deep loss, I made a decision not to let that pain paralyze me, but to use it. I channeled grief into ambition, into focus. I realized when life tries to break you, you can either shatter or you can bend. And in bending, you rise. Then came another test. My mother, my rock, faced life altering battles in a year and a half. Watching her fight back inch by inch, I learned something that my ambition hadn't taught me: patience. Real growth isn't always fast. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's silent. My mother's resilience taught me that success isn't how quickly you move, but in how steadily you keep going. If I had to describe my tide, it came when someone I didn't know reached out to me on LinkedIn as a footwear designer. That unexpected message from someone opened the door, exactly what I love about my work now: the chance to collaborate and connect with people from all across the country. A rising tide lifts all boats. And in my case, it was that message that lifted me to a new level, to a place where I could expand my horizons and grow in ways I hadn't imagined. Sometimes it's not about the perfect moment, I would say, but about seizing the opportunities that come from the most unexpected places. Every morning, we are born again. What we do today matters the most. And my rise began in a counseling room for BTech admissions. I was anxious, drowning in pressure for a path that didn't feel right. My father looked at me and he was like, "Why do you look so stressed?" And I said, "I'm scared of chemistry equations." In that moment, he simply held my hand and we walked out. He didn't need more explanations. He just understood. Later, he was the one who discovered the design as a path for me that I hadn't recognized in myself. That single question and that quiet exit rerouted my entire future. Sometimes all it takes to rise is someone who truly sees you. Over time, I transitioned across domains, adapted new industries, and led teams that shaped narratives across institutions. Not because I had all the answers, but because I stayed open. I stayed open to change, I stayed open to challenges, open to growth. Through it all, one thing that has kept me grounded was the roots of humanity I held on to. Whether it was designing for the comfort of someone's feet or creating awareness around design education, there was one simple question around which my work revolved, and that was, "Usko bura to nahi lagega?" That quiet, constant consideration of how my action affect others has been my true compass. And perhaps that's what real design is all about. It's not just about shaping objects or careers, but it's about shaping experiences with care, with empathy, and with heart. So, whether you are a professional or someone who's trying to figure out your next step, remember this: have the courage to embrace change, have the courage to learn. Let your pain become your power, and your patience the anchor when progress feels slow. Because adaptation, it's just not survival, it's the art of moving with the waves, not against them. It's learning when to bend with the wind and when to rise with the tide. In every crashing wave, there is a rhythm. In every tide, there is a new direction. The power to evolve lies in your ability to stay open, stay steady, and trust that even the roughest waves or the roughest sea can carry you somewhere extraordinary. Thank you.